So today we'll be showcasing, due to popular demand, a marketing use case and showcasing our process runner tools as well as process manager tools, which you're going to be able to see Marty GB, which is an alternate version of Marty GenBot, basically go and do campaign analysis within a very specific schema that we have created synthetic data utilizing ELIZA to be able to demonstrate today's demo. Here you can see I'm pinpointing Marty directly, saying let's analyze the technology underscore marketing campaigns in a Genesis marketing synth schema and personalizing. I'm saying you're reporting your analysis to a non-technical audience, so don't include tables. This is a nice way to be able to personalize it based off of who you're sending this report to or analysis to. If you know they're not technical, you can specify how you want the analysis to be. So Marty instantaneously goes directly into it, right? He's doing a campaign overview. He's analyzing a smartphone campaign. He's looking at the channels such as Facebook, target markets such as Gen Z, engagement metric 85.5, CTR 4%, campaign spend, sales, and then the duration for how long the campaign ran for. So inside of this very specific schema exists about 5 different campaigns that I have there inside of those data tables that I mentioned were synthetic. And now we see key insights, which were the top performers. Top performer is the wireless charger campaign on TikTok, had the highest CTR at 4.5% and the highest sales at 200 units. Teens are highly engaged on TikTok, making a lucrative channel for this product. High engagement, the VR headset campaign on LinkedIn had the highest engagement metric at 92.3, indicating strong interest from professionals. Cost efficiency, the smartphone campaign on Facebook had a relatively low campaign cost of 1,000, but still managed to achieve a solid engagement metric of 85.5 and 150 sales. So now you're going into strategic recommendations such as, leveraging high engagement channels, focusing more on TikTok and LinkedIn for future campaigns as they show high engagement in CTR, optimizing budget allocation, consider reallocating budget from lower performing channels to those with higher engagement and sales metrics, and then target market expansion, right? Expanding the target market for products like the VR headset to include younger professionals on platforms like Instagram. So it's also doing helpful recommendations that are relevant and reflective of that successful target audience that was receiving attraction. Now it's going to do the I'm a helpful chatbot thing where it says, would you like to dive deeper into any specific aspect or need further analysis on another campaign? So I'm going to say, what type of chart would be the best visual to see this as? And now Marty is going to be able to suggest saying, I recommend using a bar chart. This type of chart will allow you to compare multiple metrics across different campaigns easily. Here's how you can structure it. So it's telling you for x-axis, this is what it's going to do. Y-axis is what it's going to do. And then bars, this way you can quickly see it. Would you like me to create this bar chart for you? So now I just, I respond with okay, and here we do. Here we have key takeaways as well as visualization based off of the data set that it was able to run analysis off of. So key takeaways, wireless charger on TikTok stands out the highest sales in CTR. VR headset on LinkedIn shows the highest engagement metric. Smartphone on Facebook has a strong engagement and decent sales with a lower campaign cost. So naturally you can go and dig deeper, but this is a cool breakdown, and you can zoom in and you can kind of see sales, CTR, engagement metric, based off of the data, what it was able to create for various different visualizations. Of course, you can create any type of chart you want, but just based off of their suggestion, or I should say Marty's suggestion, you're now able to see the data presented as a visual format. This opens the door for a lot of different ways that you can utilize the existing data to manipulate it, to do historical analysis on it if you wanted to. And also, this is the aspect of the power of what you're seeing run on the back end when it comes down to processes that are running based off of me just saying, let's do a marketing campaign analysis. And now we're actually going to get into showing you exactly what that process looks like, so you can see why this sentence here was able to trigger pretty much all of this. And because I specified it to a non-technical audience, if you are non-technical, this is the business value in terms of understanding how you can instantly gain insights from the data that's actionable. And then if you're a technical user, I think you'll appreciate how the sausage is made in the kitchen, essentially, and what it takes when you're creating a process and the mindset you should be thinking of when you're creating that step-by-step automated workflow. So let me go over to that chat real quick because it's in a different chat box. So in this window with Eve, you can see me asking, I would like to give MartyGB a process. Now Eve is going to guide you through the process, and she's going to be asking you, can you please provide the following details, like just his name, instructions, reporting instructions. So in order to create that process, what you're doing right now is you are creating steps to an automated workflow based off of a trigger that the GenBot can then essentially utilize whenever you're able to call into it. So here's an example: marketing campaign analysis. Every time a GenBot's asked to do a marketing campaign analysis, use the functions.runQuery tool to fetch the list of tables within the requested schema. Next, you will inspect table structures and initial data and use only the data available. When you query sample data from each identified table to understand your structure and contents, you will use the functions.runQuery for each table. You will establish key metrics, average CTR and average cost per conversion, when defining performance metrics for the campaign. When you calculate the average CTR and cost per conversion for each table, you will use the functions run-_query for each calculation. Always summarize and compare the calculated metrics to identify underperforming and high cost high cost campaigns, I should say. And then always report the analysis in a non-technical way. The audience will be business roles and marketing. And ultimately, you can see now that Eve is going to ask to please review once you submit it, and she's calling out the different functions, which you can see. These are all the various different capabilities on our site. If you go down to capabilities, you will be able to see all those capabilities and what the actual what the actual name of them are, so that when you're doing and creating your processes, you're able to make them call directly to that tool. And from here, Eve is going to ask for that confirmation. You confirm, and then boom, the new process is created, has been successfully created, and then you can ask Eve to list all processes, and she'll show who belongs to what. So here we can see that here are the processes associated with MartyGB. So he currently only has this one. And this is a process that he now has every time he does a marketing campaign analysis, which gives you the ability to tune and customize based off of your specific workflow. So sky's the limit in terms of how you want to define that. But for the non-technical users, this is how everything is kind of orchestrated when you're calling into a process.